Alright, so in this video we're going to make our carbon paste electrode. We have here some graphite powder, which is very powdery right now. And we're going to mix in some mineral oil, neutral oil, and grind it up to make a nice paste. We also have here our BNC connector attached to a copper wire. And we've cleaned off the copper wire with this sandpaper, just by going like this, just to make sure that the surface is all fresh and it will make a good connection. And then we have this syringe, which we're going to put our carbon paste in and also put the copper wire in to make our electrode. So let's get started. It's a very dirty experiment where it's hard to avoid getting carbon paste everywhere. So, and we're just going to start grinding it up. And I'll be back in touch once we've done some grinding. So here we are. The trick is you want it to be wet enough to be a paste, so it's all connected, but not so wet that it just falls out of the electrode. So anyway, I'm grinding and adding adding mineral oil as we go, and we'll keep going. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about the paste right now, so we need to get the syringe ready to put the paste in. And so we take this razor blade and we're going to cut off the end right here so that we have a nice flat surface. Basically we're going to be filling in here with carbon paste, and we want to have a nice big flat surface right there by chopping it off right there rather than a tiny surface right there. So I'm going to chop it off and show you where we're at. And that's what it looks like now. Just chopped off the end so we have this nice flat round surface to have a nice surface of carbon paste. So we chopped off the end again so that we would have this nice big surface for the carbon paste as opposed to just a little tiny surface at the end of this. So now we need to put the carbon paste into this syringe. So I'm starting to put it in there. I'm using this scoopula to do it. So I'm just packing the paste in like this, and I'm just going to keep doing that. All right, so I have it packed in there pretty far. There's a lot on the outside, so I'm going to wipe that off with a paper towel. And then we're going to use this filter paper to polish the surface. And we're going to squeeze to try to make sure there's no air bubbles in there. So that's what we're going to do now. First, I'm just going to get the outside off. All right, so the outside is clean now, so we just have a bunch of air bubbles in there that we want to get rid of. So I'm going to press down on the plunger and press the syringe into this filter paper to try to get rid of some of the air bubbles. All right, so it's looking really good. Now, the only thing it's missing is the wire going in so that we can connect this electrically to the rest of the cell. All right, so check it out. We have the wire going inside. It goes past where the plunger is. So now we just need to get the plunger down and the wire down so the plunger's at the top of the carbon paste and the wire's into the carbon paste. All right, so now the plunger's back down, squishing the carbon paste. The carbon paste is all the way right to the bottom, and we need to check whether the wire is going into the carbon paste. And it's always hard to see because there's carbon paste around, but it looks to me like the wire is indeed going past the green bit and into the carbon paste. So there it is, our carbon paste electrode ready to start making some measurements. All right, so we're also going to need a reference electrode to go with our carbon paste electrode, and here it is, all empty, so we're going to fill it up. It's a double junction, silver-silver chloride reference electrode. Let's take it apart. So here are the different pieces. This is the silver wire, coated in silver chloride, right there. Then this is the inner chamber, which you can fill with whatever you fill the inner chamber with. And then this is the outer chamber, which you fill through this hole. with whatever you want to go in the outer chamber. So now there's the inner chamber there, and the outer chamber you fill through this hole. So Gage is going to fill the inner chamber with potassium chloride.
Okay.
And you can stick the metal thing down in the electrode a little bit so that it fills up. And there's not much space in there, so you probably got it. All right. So now Gage is rinsing the outer compartment so that none of the potassium chloride stays there. So now Gage is filling the outer chamber with potassium nitrate, no chloride, no silver, and it's good to go. Will you show us this hole that you filled?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there it is, just a little hole in the electrode. All right, so here is our setup. We have this pH meter, which if you push mode will just read millivolts. And then we have over here the reference electrode and the carbon paste electrode in the same beaker with a stir bar and a stir plate. And we're using plastic beakers, remember, because fluoride is involved and we don't want to etch the glass beakers. And so all we do is we transfer this from one beaker to the next, rinsing in between as we go, and read the millivolts.